Welcome to another episode of Cage by the Page, the podcast where we delve into the world of books. We're going to discuss everything from the latest releases to timeless classics. I'm your host, David. Today I'm joined with Tiffany,
Hello.
Winona,
Hello.
and today we're going to tackle the highly anticipated Goodreads Book of the Year categories. Actually, the voting ends in 6 hours, so this is really we just have to get to it. We're gonna do it. Uh yeah, it's just basically a great opportunity to kind of discover new reads, and expand our literary horizons. We haven't read probably the majority of these books. We're probably just gonna go off feelings, on if do we like the jacket, do we like what the book says, like the with the blurb, do we maybe we'll read a review and see if and then we'll decide whether or not it'll even be on our to read list. And then from there, we'll kind of just pick at random unless we've read a book. I think there's maybe one or two in specific categories that some of us have actually read, so that's good.
Mhm.
I'm personally excited to explore like the science fiction and fantasy category. Those are like my favorite genres. So I
Mhm.
think both you and Tiffany are, more into the romanticy
Mhm.
section. That's a very big section for you too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure there's like some hidden gems. So it'll be cool if we can like add some really sweet books to our like to read list from this. So yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's just get started. So let's see. Let's start off with the category of fiction. So here we have about 8, 9, 10 books. So I guess it's 10 books a category. I'm not sure. I haven't really checked. But let's see. Let's start out with the wishing game. Let's take a look at it. It's got a 4.21. That's pretty good for Goodreads, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
I'd
Like
say anything above 4 is good.
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that's good to know.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, both of you were like prolific reviewers on Goodreads, I would say. I don't really do much reviewing. I just like having kind of a catalog. Um
Mhm.
but sometimes I'll put in a star rating. I won't usually write a review. Do you guys usually write reviews?
It depends. I
Yep.
think I've only written like 2, maybe, and it was for one that I really loved and one that I really hated. So,
Hmm.
I'm not really putting reviews for ones that I'm just like, "Yeah, it's good."
I would say I'm not a you know how sometimes you'll read a Goodreads review and it's like 6 paragraphs long? I'm not
Mhm.
that person. I am
Okay.
these are my exact reactions as I finish this book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're just brain vomit.
Brain
Mhm.
vomit. Yummy. Let me get my
And it's
spoon.
also like, so this is I'll never receive an advanced reader copy because I'm
No.
not doing that.
I guess you have to review a lot of books to get
Yeah.
like noticed to get an advanced reader copy of anything. But
Mhm.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I
like
use
part of
the
being
I
a
use the
following.
yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I usually just use the stars, because, like, people ask me for recommendations, and if I gave it a 2, I'm not gonna recommend
yeah,
it.
you're out.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. The Wishing Game. It's got a cool, book jacket.
Mhm,
Basically a library. In fact, this is kind of what I was thinking of using as like maybe in the future for us, for the channel. I mean, like kind of
mhm,
something like this, like a library going around our box, kind of
mm.
with books and stuff. But that's like work for later. uh, so, are you guys familiar with this author? Maybe.
No, but I
Sure.
did see that book at the library the other day, and I almost got it, but I didn't.
Oh, okay.
It's a
Was it the
pretty
book? Is it the jacket? That's what.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do judge a book by the cover.
yeah. It's like a feast for your eyes. That's why the
Mhm.
Priory came onto our like radars.
Yeah.
pretty.
So basically, it says, "Make a wish." Lucy Hart knows better than anyone else. Likes to grow. What it's like to grow up without parents who loved her, and a childhood marked with neglect and loneliness. Ooh, it's one of these. Lucy found her solace in books. Oh man, okay, speaks to everybody, right? uh,
Mhm.
anyway, our viewers and probably ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Namely the Clock Island series by Jack Masterson. Now a 26-year-old teacher's aide, she is able to share her love with reading with bright young students, especially 7-year-old Christopher Lamb, who was orphaned after a tragic death of his parents. Lucy would give anything to adopt Christopher. Oh, okay. It's kind of like a Matilda. Have
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
have seen or read Matilda?
Oh,
It is a
of
book, right?
course. Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right. I'm just making sure. Um, but yeah, but even the idea of becoming family seems impossible dream without proper funds and stability. So it sounds like a pretty solemn book a little bit. I don't know if this would be
Mhm.
really up my alley. Uh Fiction, fantasy, romance, contemporary, magic realism. It's only 304 pages. That's not too bad.
Mm-mm.
And it came out this year. Great. And it looks like she's got 4 books under her belt. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think of the from what I've just read? How do you feel about it?
It's definitely on my list for
Yeah,
sure.
just to start.
It's now getting added to my list right now because I have Goodreads up in the corner.
Okay, good. Yeah. If you guys have your Goodreads up, that's great because that you guys can kind of like follow along, I guess, with on your own computers and stuff, and then add it to your to your want to read catalog.
Yeah.
So that would work. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's see. Oh, it changes every time. Okay, I didn't know it was gonna do that. So when you refresh the page, it's no longer in the first, position. All right, cool. So Jojo Moyes, yeah, someone else's shoes. It's got a 3.98. Ooh, it's not there. It's not a
Mhm.
4. It's not a 4 and above.
I mean, I've read Me Before You.
Yeah.
I imagine this would be somewhere in the same realm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, it's Nisha Cantor lives in a globetrotting life of the seriously wealthy until her husband announces a divorce and cuts her off. Nisha is determined to hang on to her glamorous life, but in the meantime, she must scramble to cope. She doesn't even have shoes. She was until a moment ago standing in. That's because Sam Kemp, in the bleakest point of her life, has accidentally taken Nisha's gym bag, but Sam hardly has time to worry about the lost gym bag. She's struggling to keep herself and her family afloat when she tries on Nisha's 6-inch high Christian Louis Vuitton red crocodile shoes. The resulting jolt of confidence makes her realize something must change. Wait a minute. She puts on shoes and then her entire life is going to change?
That's definitely more lighthearted than Me Before You.
this is a little too chick lit for me. I know that's one of the tags. It's just a
It
little.
is yeah, it's right there, chicklet, right in the center there.
Mhm.
438 pages, came out this year. It seems like this is a veteran author, 95 books. I've
Good
never.
Lord, 95?
I
Well,
think most of her books are pretty short. And
Oh,
I think Me Before You. There's a couple of sequels to Me Before You,
yeah, I haven't touched those.
got you.
and I enjoyed Me Before You, but it's definitely not a story I would revisit. Like it's just not something that I would go
Yeah,
back to.
Hmm. Uh, yeah, it starts off as a mix-up. Okay. There's a lot going on in this book, but I love the entire thing. Okay, it's long. I mean, that was something they did mention. Oh, voluntarily reviewed a complimentary copy of this book. Opinions around. Okay, cool. Um, Massive departure from the usual books. So there is that.
It was too much of everything.
Yes, they do say that as well. So, all right. I do like the cover. I think the cover's, pretty decent, and I'm not really a huge like just general fiction kind of guy, but
mhm.
if we get around to it, we might be reviewing a kind of a chicky lit fiction book soon. Let's see. Pineapple Street, a novel by Jenny Jackson. Anybody know this one?
I don't know any of these.
All right. Well,
Mm-mm.
3.6. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother. If it's below a 4, I'm out. I'm out. Let's just keep going. Let's see. The 5-Star Weekend by Ellen Hilderbrand. How do you guys feel about Ellen?
I recognize the name, but I've never read anything by them.
Okay, okay.
I think
Three.
this is like a vacation getaway kind of
Yeah,
book.
picture
Like a
perfect.
beach read.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly, and well, that's the cover. That is exactly the
Yeah.
cover. They're giving you everything on the cover. 5-star weekend. One woman organizes a trip for her best friend. Each phase of her life, her teenage years, her 20s, her 30s, a midlife. She decides to host her own 5-star weekend on Nantucket. But the weekend doesn't turn out to be joyful Hallmark movie. How does that feel for you guys?
Mm,
Yeah.
It's not
No.
going on my list.
No.
yeah,
Skip. Hello, beautiful. It's a
I do
4.2.
really
Okay.
like that cover.
Hello,
that is a
beautiful.
nice cover.
420, nice.
Yeah, it is 420. It's got a lot of reviews. 183,000 with the ratings, but 17,000 reviews is still pretty high. Um,
Hmm.
let's see. It's got fiction, historical. Okay, all right. Let's see. William Waters grew up in a house silenced by tragedy, where his parents could hardly bear to look at him, much less love him. So it's a relief when his skills on the basketball court earns him a scholarship to a college far away from his childhood home. He soon meets you. Have you guys ever been offered scholarships for anything?
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Yes, actually I did
Oh,
academically, but not.
that's great.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
it was like 10 years ago.
Great. All right, cool.
Like, I
What?
got the Hope grant, but that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I never had anything ever. He soon meets Julia Padavano, a spirited and ambitious young woman who surprises William with her appreciation of his quiet steadiness. With Julia comes her family. She is inseparable from her three younger sisters. Sylvie, the dreamer, happiest in her nose in a book, imagines a future different from expected path of wife and mother. Cecilia, the family artist. Emmeline, who patiently takes care of all three of them, or all of them. Happily, the Papadopoulos fold Julia's new boyfriend into their loving, chaotic household. But then darkness from William's past surfaces, jeopardizing not only Julia's orchestrated plans of the future, but their sisters' unshakable loyalty to one another. The result of the catastrophic family rift changes their lives for generations. Generations? Generations? Wow. Okay. Will the loyalty that once rooted, making them strong enough to draw them back together, or what matters? But okay, what do you guys think of this?
It it had me in the beginning, but then it switched to generations, and that's where it kind of like
Not my cup of tea, guys. I got a teapot right here. I like that.
so much talk of basketball and not
Ooh, ooh,
Oh,
that's
too
rounded
much.
up. I mean, I didn't read all this, but it's rounded up, guys. Uh, unpo-
Um,
Unpopular opinion regarding a beloved best-selling book that literally everyone on Earth seems to love. Okay, wow. All right, okay, I'm not feeling it. Um. Oh. Oh. Oh.
so
Oh. Oh.
like the wishing game is at the top of this list. I I know that RF. I don't want to pronounce her name
Quang.
wrong.
Kwong.
Quang.
Kwong.
Quang.
I know that she has the very big best-selling Babel
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
that I have not read.
Mm-hmm.
But this one looks
I've
like
read
it's
I've
contemporary.
read the first in the Poppy War series by her, and
Oh,
it is
that's where I
very
know her
good.
from. Yeah, the Poppy War.
Hmm.
Did she write Babel? Am I making that up in my head?
Yes, yeah, she
Okay,
wrote Babel. Yeah,
okay. I thought I was making that up.
no,
Okay, yeah, 336 pages. I like that. I like that. I
yeah, but
feel like,
this one is more contemporary.
yeah, Athena Liu is a literary darling, and June Hayward is a literally nobody. Oh, but it is a 3.88. How do you guys feel about that? It is under a 4.
I look, sometimes you have to take people's reviews with a grain of salt
Yeah, like ours.
because I loved the first book in the Poppy War. The only reason I haven't finished the rest of it is because it's so heavy,
Hmm.
like dark. Um, but I feel like that's when I get to that book, it's probably going to be a 5 stars for me.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I gave the Poppy War 4 or 5 stars.
I think this one might be a little bit controversial because if you look at the bottom, it's talking about like cultural appropriation, diversity, and racism, and sometimes those are like very hot button topics for people.
Mhm.
Mm.
So I think that's kind of where the ratings might be a little bit skewed.
Mhm.
I
I
feel
think
weird
this is one.
writing this review.
See what I mean?
Yeah. What more can we want as writers than such immortality? Don't ghosts just want to be remembered? A book about fucking around and finding out. Oh, what a quote.
Somehow it's like you want to read it, but you're not sure. This is so mixed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like what you said. It's gonna have the dividing line because of kind of the subject matter, you know?
Mhm.
So okay, interesting. Still, definitely give books that challenge you a chance,
Yeah,
whenever
absolutely.
possible.
Mhm.
Because yeah, I mean, the world is already, you don't want to be stuck in an echo chamber. But
Yeah. And
interesting.
also it's one of those things where it's like, did it make you uncomfortable because it was bad, or did it make you uncomfortable because now you're realizing something that you've
Mm,
never noticed before?
yeah, that's a great point. So yeah,
Yeah, because I think the premise is like it's a white woman impersonating a person of color, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's like the main plot line.
Hmm.
when
And
Athena
so she's like taking
well,
credit for work that's not
yeah,
Oh
when
yeah,
hers.
she
Athena
took on an ambiguous name that kind of leans to
Mhm.
what could be an Asian name.
mm, yeah. Okay. I mean, there might be a chance where we might even review it ourselves, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Pineapple Street 3.6. I'm just gonna walk away. How about Alice Hoffman and the Invisible Hour 3.7? Well, fantasy and magic realism. I do like that, and time travel. How do you guys feel about that time
She
travel?
wrote Practical Magic too.
And it's only 272 pages. Super,
Mhm.
super quick and breezy.
There's
Um,
something that I hate about this style of cover though. I don't know what it is, but anytime I see a woman running through meadows, it's just like immediately I don't want to read it.
is it just
Mhm.
because it's just like so lazy?
It just feels so stereotypical. I just don't like it. It's very like definitely chick fiction, and we're just going to throw this like nature inspired like cover on the front of it, call it a day, and walk away. I don't know why, but every time I see something like that,
Mhm.
Okay, all
I
right.
mean,
Well, I feel you.
Stephen King read it. That's his review up there at the top.
Yeah, okay, but honestly, it's pretty easy to get Stephen King. If
That's fair.
it's the same thing with the New York Times bestseller list.
Yeah.
Anybody, and everybody can end up there, and it's very easy to game those numbers. So
yeah.
I wouldn't put anything about that. But yeah, I don't know, 3.7. I mean, again, maybe it's just a walk away for me. I think that was all of them. So out of all of these, honestly, the Wishing Game
Yeah, I'm voting for the wishing
Mhm.
game.
voted. Next category. Historical fiction. How do you guys feel about historical fiction? Is this like
I feel like this is not any of our vibes, really.
yeah.
So I will say I've read I had Wayward on Libby, but of course, like I ran out of time and didn't get to finish it, so I only made it a couple chapters, but it was really interesting so far.
That is a gorgeous cover, and
Mhm.
I could vote
Mhm.
for it just because that cover is amazing.
I
Mhm.
mean, let's be serious. If it's not if this category doesn't speak to us, truly speak to us, we can just skip most just the category.
Wayward has witches. I'm just gonna vote for it because it has
Okay. I
witches
think
Yeah.
I
and
think that has sold me as well.
pretty.
I do think the cover is amazing. It's got a bird. That's very important for whenever
John would
reading.
vote
Mhm.
for it because of the bird.
Mhm.
Let's see. I will read a little bit. Amelia Hart. Do you guys have you read anything aside?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
This is her first book,
Oh
I think.
damn.
Yeah, it says one book, yeah.
Huh? Okay. Under cover of darkness, Kate flees London from ramshackle, wayward cottage, inherited from a great aunt she barely remembers. With its tumbling ivy and overgrown gardens, the cottage in the is worlds away from the abusive partner who tormented Kate, but she begins to suspect that her great aunt had a secret, one that lurks in the bones of the cottage, hidden ever since the witch hunts of the 17th century. Then it goes to 1619 from 2019. Uh, Alpha, Alpha, Alpha. I
Here
don't
we
know.
go again. Weird names.
Yeah, weird names. Is awaiting trial for a murder of a local farmer who was stampeded to death by his herd. So why is she awaiting trial? He was stampeded to death. I mean, obviously it's because she's a witch. She's a witch. She
Yeah.
she she casted it, but it's so stupid. I just can't. Um, Altha's mother taught her their magic, a kind not rooted in spellcasting, but in deep knowledge of the natural world. But unusual women have always been deemed dangerous. And as the evidence for witchcraft is set out against Altha, she knows it will take all of her powers to maintain her freedom. Interesting. Then it goes to 1942 from 1619, which is weird, a weird jump in paragraphs, you know. World War II rages. Violet is trapped in her family's grand crumbling estate, straitjacketed by societal conventions. She longs for the robust education her brother receives, and as for her mother, long deceased, who was rumored to have gone mad before her death. The only traces Violet has of her are a locket bearing the initials W and the word wayward, scratched into the baseboard of her bedroom. Weaving together stories of three extraordinary women across 5 centuries, Amelia Hart's Wayward is in. Oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. So I think it sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would for sure read that.
Yeah. This definitely speaks to, I think, the three of us. And ooh, look at these. I mean, look,
Mm-hmm.
readers also enjoyed. See,
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yep, those other two are also on my list, the London Seance Society and the Starling House.
Let's do the want to read. I don't think I did a want to read to the other one. Hold on, let me go back. Wishing game. Is it a want to read? Let's do a want to read. And yeah, I mean, unless you guys want to read one more jacket off of any of these, I think Wayward gets the vote.
Yeah, I read The Keeper of the Hidden Books. It's a Holocaust novel about a woman who has to like hide books during the Holocaust.
Out of curiosity, let me see if any of the other ones had 4 point something. Oh, this one had 4.5.
These are all
84.
actually pretty high. The Echo of Old Books is 4.34.
Hmm. What about Lady 4.3? Wow, yeah.
These are all very high. Looking for Jane.
Yeah, but like I said, it's not really our category, so I'm still happy with just Wayward being the leader in that round. Okay, best mysteries and
Frida
thrillers.
McFadden.
Oh no, The Housemaid's Secret, which I think Winona, you read this, right?
No, I
Oh,
didn't read it. I
what
was
was
gonna
the
read that.
other?
I read gosh, what is it called? Like The Surrogate Mother or something like that by her.
Okay,
Don't recommend.
don't recommend.
Don't recommend.
Okay, well
Mhm.
let's just go to Frida. 4.2.
How are you doing this, Frida?
She's
But
got
also,
That's what I'm
I-
saying. Sometimes it's like, look, I don't trust you. I don't
26
trust
books,
you.
guys. 26 books.
It's also the second in the series, which feels like cheating in a like best of the, like best of the year kind of. I don't know. Maybe that's weird. It feels like cheating.
Feels like cheating. Okay. It's hard to find an employer who doesn't ask too many questions about my past, so I thank my lucky stars that Garrick's miraculously give me a job. That the Garricks? Okay. I guess some people cleaning their stunning penthouse with views across the city, preparing fancy meals in their shiny kitchen. I can work here for a while, stay quiet until I get what I want. Ooh. It's almost perfect, but I haven't met Mrs. Garrick or seen inside the guest bedroom. I'm sure I. What is her with rooms? She's
Mhm.
always like, well, can't.
Very Jane Eyre.
Yeah, like
This feels Jane Eyre.
yeah. The NECA white guy. Okay, whatever. No, I wouldn't read this.
I wouldn't read it based off the premise alone because what family is not interested in like the
Also,
background of their housemaid?
a rich family at that. We're not
Yeah.
talking about like middle class regular people who don't have the means to look into. I don't know. Frida just doesn't like to research anything. That's the real story. I think this Lisa Jewell one was Amazon first reads.
Oh.
Okay, I'm back. I can hear you guys. So you said Lisa Jewell was Amazon first reads?
I think she was possibly last month.
Okay.
I might be making that up. It felt like that was true.
Well, I hope. Well, I don't think we picked this one up for Goodreads. I remember I had asked you guys if you wanted to do the Goodreads for last month together, and I'm pretty sure we didn't pick that one if that was the case.
No, I don't know, and I also didn't pick mine for December yet. I know we already chose one, but I didn't do it.
Let's see. Lisa Jewell returns with a scintillating new psychological thriller about a woman who finds herself subject of her own popular true crime podcast. Oh yeah, this
Immediately, yes, I would read that.
this is so your thing.
Yeah.
Celebrating her 45th birthday at her local pub, popular broadcaster Alex Summer crosses path with an unassuming woman called Josie Fair. Josie Fair, okay, laissez-faire. Josie, it turns out, is also celebrating her 45th birthday. They are, in fact, birthday twins. A few days later, Alex and Josie bump into each other again, and this time outside of Alex's children's school. Josie has been listening to Alex's podcast and thinks she might be an interesting subject for her series. She tells Alex, on the cusp of great changes in her life. Josie's life appears to be strange and complicated, and although Alex finds her unsettling, she can't quite resist the temptation to keep making the podcast. Slowly, she starts to realize that Josie has been hiding some very dark secrets, and before she knows it, Josie has inveigled her way into Alex's life and into her home. But as quickly as she arrived, Josie disappears. Only then does Alex discover that Josie has left a terrifying legacy in her wake, and that Alex has become the subject of her own true crime podcast, with her life and her family's life under mortal threat. Who is Josie, and what has she done? 384 pages. That's not bad. 46 books. But I've never heard of Lisa Jewell before this, so
I've seen a lot of her books.
I've seen her name before. Yeah, I'd read it.
I'm speechless after reading this bone-chilling, dark, twisty, mind-bending thriller. It's one of the best works. Oh, one of her best works. Well, that's as good as you're gonna get.
For first
Lisa.
page, all 3 and 4 stars. That's not bad.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is cool. Let's just put that on the want to read. Let's see.
I've read All the Dangerous Things.
Oh, well, let me go back to that. All the Dangerous Things. Where's that? Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Stacy Willingham, 4.1. How'd you? Okay, so if you read it, what would you give it?
I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was really interesting. It's about a woman whose son went missing, and her husband basically leaves her after she's been searching for him for a year, and it's basically like clearly he's gone. Like that's what the husband believes. Like he's not coming back. He's dead. Like there's nothing we can do about it, and she can't get over it. She has insane insomnia. And this guy comes up to her and is basically like, hey, I want to do a true crime investigation like podcast with you. And so they go through all of it. It's very twisty. It's also set in Savannah, Georgia, which was interesting because like reading about an area that you actually live in is insane sometimes. Like it becomes a little surreal, especially in this context. I really enjoyed it. I also read something else by her, which I still enjoyed, but wasn't like the top of my list. It was also short. I listened to it on audio, and it took me half a day. It was great.
Okay. Yeah. I'll put that
Yeah,
onto read.
Karen Slaughter's like that a lot too. That's why I read a lot of hers because they all take place in Georgia.
Oh, okay. So it just
Mhm.
hits you home where the home is, So
Yeah.
okay, cool, cool.
Like David Stephen King.
Yeah, right, Maine. True. Okay. How about this one? Sager, the only one left.
I have a lot of his books. I have not heard very good things,
Really?
and that's why I haven't read a lot of them.
Let's see. Well, this is a 3. I am starting to feel it as I'm marooned on an outlier island. Oh, okay. You got 3.5. 3.5 since I love the first 2/3, but rounding down because the ending counts a lot for me. So it didn't stick the landing.
Mhm.
Okay.
I hate thrillers that don't stick the landing though.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, exactly. It's just kind of, yeah. All right. How about this one? Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers.
So this is definitely on my list. I haven't read this, but I've read Four Aunties and a Funeral and Four Aunties and or like Dial A for Auntie and Four Aunties and a Funeral. And they're very good by
Okay.
this author. Like it's a series. The first one, Dial A for Aunties, I think I gave it like a 5. That
Okay.
one was really good.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I would definitely read it. It's a
Six.
60-year-old investigating stuff in
Oh,
crime.
okay. Oh, so it's all in that series, like the four aunties and
I don't
this.
know, but it's like a cozy thriller kind of
Hmm.
thing.
Okay. Sounds fun. Like, so there's the stakes aren't too high, and it's kind of a fun wrap up.
Yeah, like there's a body, but it's funny how the body got there and it's funny the resolution.
Okay. Well, that's good. I kind of like that because just because
Mhm.
sometimes you need to be in like a very yeah, positive kind of mindset and just kind of want, but you still want a mystery, a murder mystery, something like
Yeah.
Clue, So
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
that's
that.
pretty much what it is. It's like Clue.
Yeah, so I'm into that. She's got 14 books under her belt.
Mhm.
Oh, interesting. She's from Jakarta in Singapore.
Jakarta.
Carta.
Jakarta. Sorry, Jackarat. Jackarat. Do you guys like that, Jackarat? Oh, look at
Weird.
that. Look at all of that. Do you guys use emojis, emoticons in your reviews?
None of my reviews.
No. Also, I don't think that Goodreads really makes it easy to like format things all the time.
Mm,
So I'm not gonna
Mhm.
go through I'm not gonna code some emojis. I'm not doing that.
gotcha. Okay. Seems like a fun one to check out by that author. How about Kate Morton? You guys know Kate Morton?
I've
Mm-mm.
seen her name before, but I don't know anything about this book.
Homecoming, let's see. It's Christmas Eve, 1959, at the end of a scorching hot day beside a creek on the grounds of the grand and mysterious mansion. A local delivery man makes a terrible discovery. A police investigation is called, and the small town of Tambilla becomes embroiled in one of the most shocking and perplexing murder cases in the history of South Australia. Okay, well that's interesting only by the fact that it's just not America. you know um
American exceptionalism.
yeah, well, a lot of books are just centered around America, so cool. Different atmosphere, 60 years later, just as a journalist in search of a story, having lived and worked in London for almost 20 years, she now finds herself laid off from her full-time job. We know how that is, right? And struggling to make ends meet, even with a job. We know how that is, right? A phone call out of nowhere summons her back to Sydney, where her beloved grandmother Nora, who raised Jess and her mother could not, has suffered a fall and has been raced to the hospital. Nora has always been a vibrant, strong, decisive, encouraging young. Despite her years, when Jess visits her in the hospital, she is alarmed to find her grandmother frail and confused. It's even more alarming to hear that Nora's housekeeper, that Nora has been been distracted in the weeks before her accident, had fallen on the steps to the attic. The one place Jess was forbidden from playing in when she was small. I mean, to be honest, what adult wants their kid playing in the attic? Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't. It's just, yeah, you're forbidden because it's dangerous no matter what, no matter where.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. At loose ends in Nora's house, at loose ends in Nora's house, Jess does some digging of her own. In Nora's bedroom, she discovers a true crime book chronicling the police investigation into a long buried tragedy, the Turner family tragedy, a tragedy of Christmas Eve, 1959. And it is the only one when Jess skims through the book and she finds a shocking connection between her own family and this once infamous crime, a crime that has never been resolved satisfactorily. And for a journalist without a story, a cold case might be the best distraction she can find. An epic novel that spans generations. Okay, cool. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I feel like 550 pages for this kind of like mystery is a little bit much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Uh,
it's just not. You feel like there's not enough material here to really keep you 550 pages worth.
yeah, like it's a good premise, but I feel that like 550 pages, I feel like there's going to be a lot of backstory that's probably unnecessary to get to like that thrilling part of it. And when I read a thriller, I want to be thrilled the whole time. I want to be like curious and interested and like want to know where it's going at all times. And I feel that like you have to be a really good writer with a lot of things going on to make 550 pages in a thriller work.
Yeah.
Not to say that Kate Morton isn't, I don't know, but I probably wouldn't pick it up for that reason.
Fair. Fair. Yeah, and it's probably not gonna get my vote, even for the Australia thing. I mean, that's just not enough.
Uh,
Um,
Bright Young Women was on my list.
okay, let's go to that one. Where is it? Here we go. 4.05. So Jessica Knoll, have you guys read anything by her?
Mm-mm.
No, is this her debut? No. Okay.
No.
No, she's got 5 books.
But it's about a serial killer, which is just automatically up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 1978, a serial killer has terrorized women across the Pacific Northwest, but his existence couldn't be further from the minds of vibrant young women at the top sorority of Florida State University's campus in Tallahassee. Tonight is a night of promise, excitement, and desire. But Pamela Schumacher, president of the sorority, makes the unpopular decision to stay at home, a decision that unwittingly saves her life. Startled at a wake. Oh, it's always a 3 a.m. thing, isn't it? By a strange sound,
The
she make
Witching
It
Hour.
is the witching hour.
yeah. She makes the fateful decision to investigate. What she finds behind the door is a scene of implausible violence. 2 of her sisters dead, 2 others maimed. Over the next few days, Pamela is thrust into a terrifying. See, you know what? Out of out of everything we've read so far in these mystery thrillers, this has been so far the most well written blurb,
Yeah.
that's
Mm-hmm.
like punchy for this kind of thing. And I feel
Yeah.
like the rest of them have been kind of like, I'm just asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, all right, yeah. Over the next few days, Pamela is thrust into terrifying mystery inspired by the crime that captivated the public interest for more than 4 decades. And then on the other side of the country, Tina Cannon has found a piece of Seattle after years of hardship, a peace in Seattle after years of hardship. A chance encounter brings 25-year-old Ruth Wachowski into her life, a young woman with a painful secret of her own, and the two of them form an instant connection. When Ruth goes missing from Lake, forget it. Surrounded by thousands of beachgoers on a
Sabramish.
beautiful summer day, Tina devotes herself to finding out what happened to her. When she hears about the tragedy in Tallahassee, she knows it's the man the papers have referred to as the All American Sex Killer. I like that. The All American Sex Killer. What the
Who would
hell?
actually name a killer that? I don't like it. That's terrible.
It's funny. It's funny. Even though
Yeah.
it's horrible because the subject matter is horrible. It's
All American sex killer. Like, could you imagine reading that in the papers?
I mean, if I did, I'd be like, what kind of what? I want to know more, right? Don't you want to know more?
But also, if you wanted to deter people from committing these heinous crimes, maybe don't call them all
I totally
American
agree.
sex
I
killer.
totally agree. I think the serial killer naming scheme needs to change a little bit. I feel like it kind of like promotes it, right? So, especially
Mhm.
for people that are just, wackadoodle or
Yeah,
wax. Um, okay, overall, this is a want to read.
yeah.
Mhm.
Just based on a better blurb.
This is
Mhm.
definitely on my list. It's been on my list since like September. I haven't gotten to it because I've been slacking, but you know,
Okay.
it's
Uh,
also based on Ted Bundy. In case you couldn't get that from the blurb.
Mhm.
okay. All right, cool, cool, cool. Let's see. Did we I have some questions for you. 3.6. I'm out. Just out. All the sinners bleed. 4.2. A black
Love the cover.
a black sheriff, a serial killer, a small town ready to combust. Okay, this is a good start. 341 pages. That's also a good length. Um, Titus Crown. I like Titus. I like the name Titus. I don't think enough people have the name Titus. There was a show named Titus, and I used to watch it, and I liked that show.
I don't know. Titus was an asshole in Red Rising.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, there's that too. But I'm talking about a show from the 90s. It was a sitcom. I believe he was a comedian. But anyway, is the first black sheriff in the history of Sharon County, Virginia. In recent decades, Sharon has only had two murders. After years of working as an FBI agent, Titus knows better than anyone that while his hometown might seem like a land of moonshine, cornbread, honeysuckle, secrets always fester under the surface. I like that. I like that because it put in food
Mhm.
and moonshine, and I like that. Then a year to the day after Titus's election, good thing I didn't read erection because I was going to. A year to the day after his erection, guys. A school teacher is killed by a former student, and the student is fatally shot by Titus's deputies. Those festering secrets are now out in the open and ready to tear the town apart. As Titus investigates the shootings and unearths terrible crimes, and a serial killer who has been hiding in plain sight, haunting the dirt lanes and the woodland clearings of Sharon, with the killer's possible connection to the local church. Perfect. I'm reading this.
Yeah, one to read.
Want to read. Want to read. Titus projects confidence. Okay. Yeah. It sounds like a fun, serial killer hunt. Small town cop kind of.
Also obsessed with the cover. So pretty.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's cool. This is a cool cover. Um, okay, I think we covered all these. Oh, actually, we didn't see the last devil to die. It's got what is this? A
That's a
fox?
very high rating.
It
4.5.
it is a
Mhm.
very high rating with a lot of. Oh, good thing we
It's
didn't.
also the fourth in a series.
Oh, it's the fourth.
Mhm.
The fact that it's a fourth in a series and still has such a high rating is kind of shocking because usually like the
Mhm.
first book will get a decent
Oh, what happened? It's a 3.9.
It's close enough.
that's so interesting
It only
because
got better from there.
that's interesting.
Yeah, I do like the conformity of like the jackets though. Like
Mhm.
that this would be a cool
I'm
like
pretty sure I have the first book.
yeah, I mean, I would be down to get these just
Mhm.
to have these jackets.
Killings in a
100%.
retirement home.
Oh, is it? Is that
Is
what
that
it
what
is?
it's
That's what it said.
In a
In
peaceful
a peaceful
retirement village.
retirement village.
Okay, interesting. But this is the fourth.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Thursday Murder Club. It could be like us. We could start our own murder club.
about?
I don't know. I mean, that sounds cool. But yeah, I'm not really gonna give this anything. Because it's a fourth in the series. I mean, I just
Yeah.
it just doesn't fit. with like what we've been kind of going through with all the rest of them. It's kind of like, okay, well, they're standalones and kind of,
Yeah.
you don't really need to
Mhm.
go through all that. Out of all of these, I'm gonna give it to where was it? Which one was the Ted Bundy one? Which one was it?
Right.
That was
Right.
Bright Young Women.
Right one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna vote for this one. How do you guys feel?
Yeah.
That's my vote.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really need to read that book soon. Rereading the synopsis gave me like a.
So much pink. We hit on the pinkest page of the night, guys. And
I do want to argue that like I hate this style of covers. I hate them. I think they're so gaudy. I don't like them at all.
fair. Um, do
I
you?
mean, besides King of Pride, that one doesn't look terrible.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this one looks the best. This is horrible.
Mhm.
Right move.
It's a sports romance.
Oh,
These are
Mhm.
but this is not the romance that I tend to enjoy when it comes to like, yes, I read a significant amount of romance, but this
Mhm.
is just not usually my
I
cup of tea.
did read Icebreaker. That's the first book to the Wildfire series. It is a sports romance, but it's like hockey. And so I like hockey, so I'll read a sports romance about hockey, but about baseball. Eh.
Yeah,
Okay.
for me, I guess it would be football because I care about football, but like
Yeah.
I don't really I don't know. None of these really call to me.
It's a nice palate cleanser.
Yeah, like if you want something, I think in this group, if I were to pick solely on cover, it would go to
Mhm.
King of Pride because I think that's the
Yeah.
best one out of this mix.
Which
Although,
haven't read that series, but I have read
yeah,
Twisted
it's number
Games
two.
by her.
I
Mhm.
have read I think two of the three.
I think this Twisted Games and Twisted Lies, I think, are the
It's
first two.
Twisted Games, Twisted Lies, Twisted Love.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. I've read two. I haven't read the one with her brother.
Out of
Yeah, I haven't read that one either.
all of these, it seems like most of them are in a series.
Mhm.
So
That's just a common thing.
Yeah.
and
Like Lauren Asher has a ton of romance books.
it seems
Allie
like
I
Casey
like the
would.
series.
the 7 year slip is
Mhm.
the most highly rated of all of these.
Yeah. I have not read Happy Place by Emily Henry, but I love Emily Henry. But I've heard from other people that also love Emily Henry that they did not like Happy Place. So I'm
Oh,
nervous I have it, but I'm nervous to touch it.
gotcha.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it to 7 year slip just because it's not in a series. It's a
Mhm.
4.3. It's got almost 50K ratings,
Yeah.
But let's just quickly look at it and read what it's
Mhm.
about before I go into it. I do like it's only 352 instead of like 600 pages. That's
Mhm.
always a plus. Sometimes the worst day of your life happens, and when you have to figure out how to live after that. So Clementine forms a plan to keep her heart safe. Stay busy, work hard, find someone decent to love, and try to remember to chase the moon. The last one is silly and obviously metaphorical, but her aunt always told her that you needed at least one big dream to keep you going. And for the last year, that plan has gone off without a hitch, mostly. The love part is hard because she doesn't want to get too close to anyone. She isn't sure her heart can take it. And then she finds a strange man standing in the kitchen of her late aunt's apartment. A man with kind eyes and a southern drawl and a taste for lemon pies. The kind of man that before it all she would have fallen head over heels for, and she might again. Except he exists in the past, 7 years ago to be exact. This kind of reminds me of that movie
Time
with
Traveler's Wife.
yes, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Okay.
The
Um.
book is better.
Oh well, there you go. um. 7 years ago, and she quite literally lives 7 years in the future, in his future. Her aunt always said the apartment was a pinch in time, a place where moments blended together like watercolors. And Clementine knows that if she lets her heart fall, she'll be doomed. After all, love is never a master of time, but a matter of timing. Well, I kind of like that line. It's a good line.
Yeah. It is a good line.
Yeah. What do you guys
I'd read
think?
it. I mean, I loved The Time Traveler's Wife, so I
Okay.
mean, seems like
Yeah, I mean it's a little fluffy, but
Mhm.
I'd give it a shot.
I literally loved this book with a big old love and all the
Mhm.
D's. Um, for the most part, pretty stellar ratings. I'll put it on the want to read. Sure,
Yeah.
it sounds fun. And I'm gonna vote for it. Okay, next category. Best
Now
romantasy. Oh my god, we've done it, guys. We've gotten there.
this is the
And
realm.
I've only read one of them.
They all look so ballin'.
Mhm.
I have to say, romantasy covers best in the game.
Mhm.
They are. Okay. Okay, let's just start with the one you've read. Fourth Wing, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
I haven't read Fourth Wing, but it is on my list. It's currently
Mhm.
sitting.
How do we feel about the Fourth Wing, Tiffany?
I gave it 5 stars and I loved it so much, but I'm also trying not to watch other people's videos because I've seen people make like really good points that
Oh.
make it not 5 stars, and I'm like, I'm just gonna
So
stay ignorant to that.
okay, so you're seeing the weaknesses.
Or trying not to. I'm
Well,
ignoring them.
trying not to, right. Um
And I have the second one, Iron Flame, but I haven't read it yet.
mhm, mhm.
And I've been hearing some mixed. I haven't
That's
actually
why I'm
listened to
scared.
any of them. I haven't listened to any of the reviews because I haven't read the first book, and I don't want to have like a preconceived notion going into it. I didn't
Mhm.
even really want to know what Fourth Wing was about, and literally the only thing I know about it is it's romance and there's dragons. That's all I
Mhm.
know,
Well,
and that's how I want to go into it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you right now, just off this one sentence here, it seems like Red Rising a little bit at
Well,
the
then we have to read it. That's the
yeah.
only option.
Well, okay, let me read the sentence. Friends, enemies, lovers, everyone at War College has an
Basquiat.
agenda because once you enter, there are only two ways out: graduate or die. It's a
Mhm.
Yeah,
very that I mean that was Red
gotta do,
Rising.
gotta do it.
Mhm.
Okay.
There's something about like young adults going through hell and almost dying that just
Mhm.
really sets my brain into
Does
tingles.
it?
And also, it's got a really cool map, and I love a good map.
Good maps are yeah,
I'm
they're
gonna be honest, I never pay attention to the maps. It's a terrible habit.
I love them. I don't it means absolutely nothing to me, but I love looking at them.
and I would say that this book of all the ones we've looked at tonight has the highest 5 stars.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like the highest I've seen so far.
I mean, this book is very hyped, so if it is bad, it's gonna be really bad. Like,
Okay. Winona, why don't you pick one?
so I haven't read A Fire in the Flesh or A Soul of Ash and Blood, but I am reading both of those series. So I've read all of the other pieces of them. Um,
So how do you this one so well yeah, so it's 5. So it's the 5th in the series of this one. So I mean I
yeah,
couldn't possibly give it the
Mhm.
vote. You know what I mean?
It's
I think
another one where it's like mixed reviews too. Like either people love it or hate it.
so. I think it's in the male perspective, like the male main character's
Look at this.
perspective.
Blatant cash grab, guys. How do you feel about that?
I'm gonna be honest. That's Jennifer L. Armentrout as a whole. I'm not even gonna bullshit you. I enjoy her books. They're not hard to read.
151.
151.
Yeah, I enjoy her books. They're easy to, well, not all of them. I've really just enjoyed this series so far. I've never read anything else by her, but
Mhm.
these two are spin-off series, and I will tell you, they are part of our Ick series. If you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it. But it's two series that are doing the same thing at the same time the entire
Mhm.
I won't lie to you, but they're fun, easy reads.
All right, well, I'm not voting on that one. Just because also it's of the 5th book. I mean, come on. I
Yeah.
can't do
Mhm.
that. How about this one? This is the first one, The Hurricane Wars. Anybody?
Mhm. I
Never
saw
read it.
it at the library the other day and almost got it, but did not.
Beautiful cover, but we can say that
Mhm.
about all of them.
It's a 3.7. The heart is a battlefield. Isn't that the case for all of these?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. This is her fourth book. So, a little bit green when it comes to writing these kinds of stories, I guess.
Mhm.
Unlike the last author who had 151 fucking books.
Yeah.
There's something to say about too much, though. There is
Mhm.
something to say about it.
Yeah, again, this is more of the mixed, 4 is pretty good, but yeah, it's definitely the
God,
averages.
that first review, this book is either a sweeping epic fantasy or takes place in Florida. Impossible to know which.
You know what though? You know what though? You know what though? That's
That's
not a bad
amazing.
thing. That's not a bad thing. I kind of
That's
like that.
amazing.
I kind of like that. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, with my rule being that it's under a 4, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's see. What about the oh, this is on number 1 and it just scraped by above a 4. What do you guys think about the cover? The cover's pretty sweet.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like there's a little too much emboss, on the cover. It could have been a little more toned down, but overall, I like the iconography. I think
Mhm.
of the book in general. It would be cool to have. Um, let's see here.
Apparently, it's an Egyptian-inspired fantasy.
Ooh, yeah, debut fantasy. Okay. 10 years ago, the king of Jazad burned. Its magic outlawed. Its royal family murdered, down to the last child. At least that's what Sylvia wants people to believe. I like that. Sylvia, a very nice and easy name. The lost heir of Jazad. Sylvia never wanted to be found. She can't think about how Nizal's armies laid to waste her kingdom and continued to hunt its people. Not if she wants to stay alive, but when Aaron, the Nizal heir, tracks a group of Jazadi rebels to her village, staying one step ahead of death gets trickier. In a moment of anger, Sylvia's magic is exposed, capturing Aaron's attention. Now, to save her life, Sylvia will have to deal with her greatest enemy. If she helps him lure the rebels, she'll escape persecution. A deadly game begins. Sylvia can't let Aaron discover her identity, even as hatred shifts into something more. Oh, of course it shifts into something more. Sylvia will have to choose between the life she wants and the one she's leaving behind. The Scorch Kingdom is rising. It needs a queen. How do you guys feel?
Mhm.
So it's all right. It's all right. Very tropey for the category.
I'd give it a shot, but it's
Mhm.
523 pages, and I know that fantasies are long, but for a debut novel, I think that's a bit much.
Okay. Well,
We'll see.
it could be a 3-book series.
It could be, yeah.
It doesn't have to be like 8 to 27 volumes of a series. So there's that
We're
to
looking at
consider.
you, Stephen King in the Dark Tower.
Yeah. Well, no. That's what, 8 books,
That's a shit ton of books.
7 books. Eight,
That's
eight
still a
if
shit
you add the compendium thing or whatever. Promising debut, but it's still a 3 stars for this one. So I don't know. You know.
So I will say for Assistant to the Villain, I have it. But it's really cool because it's this I follow her on TikTok, and
Oh,
so it was like really
Nicole.
cool. Yeah, it was really cool seeing like the process of her getting this published. And it sounds really
Oh.
interesting.
So she went through her entire journey on TikTok.
A little bit, not the entire thing, but like she was giving people like tips and stuff too, but also like a lot of marketing for her book. Because I think it's like the idea started out as she was doing these little like TikTok videos
Hmm.
about like her being the assistant to a villain, and
Okay,
that's what inspired the book because people loved the videos.
that's cool.
The top
Mhm.
review, the very first review says, like a Christian youth pastor, this book
Oh
is uncomfortably
no.
funny.
No.
Also, did
It's
not
so
finish.
pretty though, and it has red sprayed edges too. Damn it.
DNF at 30%.
You can still read it and love it, Tiffany.
I mean, I know, but I know what
But
she
that's a
I
hel-
know that. Christian youth pastors, I know that.
but that's a hilarious review. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Oh,
Me
no.
complains daily about book talk. Also me experiences FOMO over a book talk sensation. Clown.
Oh, no.
Oh no. Well, now
This
we
one
know.
this one says DNF after the prologue. That's
Okay. Tiffany, you have a homework assignment.
After I finish Priory, read
Yeah.
it.
This is a homework assignment just for you. I want you to record yourself reading, giving a quick review, just a quick one of like however far you get,
All right.
and why you don't like it, because we
Alrighty.
know you're not gonna like it. It's gonna be great.
Oh.
Um. Oh, you guys said Fire and Flesh. Somebody read that
it's
one.
also
It's
like
from the same
number 3.
author.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trout, Armin Trout.
Mhm.
God,
Yep.
that name, Armin Trout. I love it.
Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's a
Yeah, it's a
much.
J-Law.
fantastic name. 632 pages, guys.
That's a lot.
We're gonna skip Miss Armin Trout, I think.
And if you vote for Zodiac Academy, I will riot.
So you've read it.
I have not read it, but I will not read it because it has gone too far.
Uh-oh.
We've
Yeah.
talked about this. This is the same
Yeah.
series that
It's another one where it's like a lot in a series.
It's a lot in the series. This one's also number
Mhm.
2 in the series. So
I've heard really good things about the first one though. But it is another TikTok one where a lot of people love it. Yeah.
Wait. There's a book 1 and then a 1.5.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I do want to read this series. It is definitely on my list. It looks interesting, and I don't know if it's just because the cover's so pretty.
I think it's on Kindle Unlimited too.
Well, I don't like that book 1 cover looks very similar to book 2's cover. That looks very lazy. I mean, there's like some differences I could see. I don't know. Okay. It's Kindle Unlimited, like you guys said. So if you guys, feel like checking it out or whatever.
I think my vote is going to Throne of the Fallen. I don't know. It looks good.
What? No. The vote goes to Fourth Wing.
Fine.
Throne
I do want to.
Throne of the Fallen looks good though. Yeah.
That one does too, and so does The Hanging City. Looks good too.
The Hanging City just has a beautiful cover.
Oh yeah, that one is very nice. 344 pages. That's nice. It's not part of a series. Ooh, I like that. Because the rest of them are just like overdone. For a young
Fourth
woman,
Wing is also a 5-book series.
Yeah. Well.
5 books? She's already committed to 5 books?
Well, I mean, that's not crazy. I mean, so many authors.
I'll tell you after book 2 if it was.
Yeah, but now that book 2 is getting like mixed reviews, it's never good when they're committed to 5 books because at the end of the day, we're at book 2. So we have no idea even if like they're a decent author at that point. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Well, and also her sales and like pre-orders took a hit because she had like posted something regarding the Islam Palestine stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, and so that's why a lot of people like are like, all right, I'm not reading her.
Yeah.
Oh, that was number 8 in the series. Oh yeah, okay. Fuck no.
Yeah.
Shit,
I'll vote
guys.
for Fourth Wing just because well, I'm gonna read the book anyway, so
Okay, let's just go with Fourth Wing on this one. I think that's
put everything in this category as what to read.
Yep. If it's not already on my list, it's going on the list.
Oh,
but not Assistant to the Moon. I'm not doing that one.
Not Zodiac Academy.
No, that one can get fucked in my opinion.
Yeah.
Carolyn
I have the
Peckham.
first one, but I have no interest in reading it now.
No.
I will say for me, I don't typically read the aside from Fourth Wing. I'm gonna say The Hanging City. That just looks it has an interesting cover, intriguing cover. Yeah, it looks like it could be fun. 344 pages, guys. I mean, that's also really nice. So this would go on my want to read. Hanging The Hanging City. I think that would be fair for this. Maybe the jazzed air, but I don't know how strong of a book this is gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be a weak one.
Yeah, I put it on my list, and now that I'm thinking about it more, I'm going to take it off my list.
Oh, it could be. You know what? If it's on Kindle Unlimited, you know.
It's not.
Okay, guys, best fantasy. Best fantasy. For me, I could already tell you that
Cassandra Clare is immediately off the list. I don't
Yep.
care.
Yep. Yep.
anybody
I don't even care if it's different from what you've done in the past. I don't care.
Okay, is it because just a bad author?
She found her one thing and she has stuck with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's in the Book X video,
Mhm.
guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Starling House. This looks awesome, but it's got pretty
Mhm.
low reviews. It's comparative, 3.8.
I don't care. That cover's beautiful.
It is a beautiful cover. We could take a closer look at the
It
cover.
could be a 1 star, and I'm like, that's a pretty cover though.
We are easy to please.
As sinister forces converge on the Starling House, Opal and Arthur are going to have to make a dire choice to dig up buried secrets of the past and confront their own fears, or let Eden be taken
Mhm.
over by literal nightmares. If Opal wants a home, she has to fight for it.
I also just like those names, Opal and Arthur. Those are nice.
Also, the author's name is Alex with an X. I like that.
Mhm.
I'll give the author a follow.
Alex always has an X.
Yeah,
An
I guess you're. Yeah, but with an.
I think you mean with an I.
It's
the I.
well, it's like a YX usually, right? Or EX.
Yeah,
And an
it's
I.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It looks a blueberry harvester. Okay. So anyway, yeah, it just looks like a really cool cover. I kind of like the theme gothic, you know?
Mhm.
But is it going to win? I don't think so. Because you got Brandon Sanderson here swinging his big old donkey dick. No, I'm kidding.
but that's a fair comment for Brandon Sanderson. I won't lie to you.
Yeah,
He's a good author.
he is a very good author. I'm literally a page away from the end of Words of Radiance, and it is such a good end. He knows how to nail those cliffhanger endings that you're like, it's not even a cliffhanger. It's like there's resolution in what he was building up to. It feels
Mhm.
good. You feel good at the end of the book, but there's more. There's just more. It's a big living world, you know. So,
Mhm.
so yeah, I think this dude is the winner here. In my personal opinion, I also like this cover. It's very simple, but I like the green. I like what he's doing with the cover.
Mhm.
You know, 369 pages, guys. That's also very good. The only life Tress has known. Oh, wait a minute. This is just book one, right? Okay. The only life Tress has ever known on her island home is an emerald green ocean, has been a simple one, with the simple pleasures of collecting cups brought by sailors from faraway lands and listening to the stories told by her friend Charlie. But when his father takes him on a voyage to find a bride and disaster strikes, Tress must stow away on a ship and seek the sorceress of deadly midnight sea, amid the spore ocean where pirates abound. Can Tress leave her simple life behind and make her own place sailing a sea where a single drop of water can mean instant death? That sounds awesome.
Mhm.
It sounds so cozy.
Yes, yes, it's a want to read. I want to read it. And we're gonna follow Brandon. Follow him to the end. Oh, one of you has this book. Tiffany?
I don't have it, but
Oh,
I do want to read it just because it's a pretty cover.
it is a pretty cover. Another.
Also sounds pretty cozy.
Mhm. And I looked at it when it was like looked on the actual pages inside when I was at the library, and it's written like an actual encyclopedia. Like there are footnotes and everything in the bottom too.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it.
Mhm.
Oh man, I like this line. Here we go. Who is Wendell Blamby, Bambly, Bumblebee. And what does he really want? To find the answer, she'll have to unlock the greatest mystery of all, her own heart.
It sounds so cozy. I love it.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's great. I like it. Want to read. That's an easy want to read. It's
Mhm.
very warm. Oh, well, okay. Well, this is the prequel to
Yeah.
what we've been reading, A Day of Fallen Night. What do you guys? Well,
That cover is amazing, and I will
Mhm.
not stand for any slander against it.
Yep.
want to read. There is a giveaway. If those actually, can
I already
I get in on this? No, 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 no. All right, all right. Well, I'll give her a follow at least. I already know how I feel about the Orange Priory, so I mean, I'm not gonna go into too many details because we are
Mhm.
going to cover it. But I am gonna say I love this. I love the universe. It's a really cool universe. That cover really does a great job luring people in, and I think it will be worth checking out.
yeah.
Mhm.
You know, it's a prequel. So if you guys want to get in on that, it's 868 pages. So it's basically the same amount as Priory.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a big girl.
It's a big old girl. Oh,
Also, it's the bookshops in Bone Dust. I know this is like a prequel to the
It
series.
is of Legends of
Oh
the
my god,
Mates.
it looks so cute. I cannot take it. I
I
need
saw it at one of my bookshops just yesterday, and I was like, oh, it's so cool. I want to
it's
read it.
so cute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to read it. Um,
Mhm.
It's very highly rated too.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It could be a book that we could read for the show because it's 352 pages, and I think it's a worthwhile series to get into, and I think it's fun.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So um okay, let's go back.
Are we
This one.
voting for Brandon Sanderson?
Well, yeah, we could vote for him, but how do you guys feel about this book? I also think this cover is pretty ballin'.
Mhm.
That is, again, fantasy books,
Mhm.
bar none, best covers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's another pirates. Can't go wrong
I
with
love
pirates.
pirates. I love
Mhm.
pirates. And it's a number one. But yeah, okay, let's just vote for Brandon because I know that Brandon's just gonna win this. I could feel it anyway. Sci-fi. How do you guys feel? Did you read any of these?
Mm-mm.
I have not, but I have to automatically choose Lightbringer, even though I have not read it yet.
Well, I'm not gonna fight you on that. No, it's because me and Winona have this series that we connected on. Um,
Red Rising is amazing.
yeah, Red
So
Rising is amazing, and I feel overall like I have not read what is it, Iron Gold and Dark Age, right? Dark Age.
yeah,
But the original trilogy was so good that I know I'll like it once I get to this. You know,
yeah.
is this the end?
No, there's one more book.
Okay.
Now, when it comes out, I don't know, but it is called Red God, which, if that gives you any idea of how the series is going to end, it will be epic. I don't know how epic it'll be, but I just have a feeling that that last book, first of all, it's going to be a hunk. It's going to be a hunk of pages. There's no way it's going to be less than 800 pages.
Tiffany, have you read Red Rising or any?
I read the first one.
Oh, good. Okay.
Do you have opinions?
Mhm. Yeah, it was really good. I'm definitely gonna finish the rest of it. I'm very bad about finishing a series. I'm in the middle of so many series that needs to be like a 2024 resolution.
Yeah.
Just knock those out.
You
I
gotta
think once you read Golden Sun, though, you're going to want to read the next one, and then the next, like Morning Star, is a slower read.
Golden
So
Sun. Golden
good.
Sun is this.
Oh god, I love that
You know what I'm
book.
saying? It's like from Red Rising, and
Mhm.
Morning Star is the conclusion to the story.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It really can't hit that peak because all of the stuff that happens with your heart
yeah.
is in Golden Sun.
Golden Sun is the best book out of the whole series. Love that. I cannot get over that book. It's probably my favorite book of all time. That one singular book is probably my favorite book of all time.
We could probably do a review on Red Rising and all of that. I mean, it won't be too hard for us because we've already kind of like read it.
I've
Mhm.
read it a number of times. We won't talk about it. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so any of the other ones that you guys like the look of or kind of want to read? Let's
I
see.
feel like the future
Starter
is
villain
Yeah,
and the future. Yeah, the future looks good too.
yeah, I mean, come on. It's a goddamn cat, guys, as the
what is
cover.
He's inheriting your uncle's supervillain business.
More complicated than you
huh?
think.
264 pages?
Yeah,
That's nothing.
I want to read it just because it seems ridiculous, and I
Mhm.
like.
yeah. I'll also give this man a follow. It seems
157 books. Jeez.
wow. Yeah, that is a
Eh.
lot. Uh,
Weren't we talking about this author
and
before?
also all like 4 or 5 stars as the first page of Goodreads. So
Yeah.
let's just go with it. Yeah, it's a good one. Let's go back. Martha Wells, I know a lot. This one has been this author has been recommended to me a few times, but this is number 7 of the murder plot,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna bother. The Light Pirate, that looks pretty fun. Florida is slipping away. Goodbye. That's it. That's all I had to say about that. The future 3.8. I like the cover, but it's more like a tattoo than,
The
Mm.
cover is kind of ripping off Red Rising though,
yeah,
because is the Howler like symbol.
yeah. So, the marriage act, that's kind of cool. It's got a black hole in the center there, but it's 3.8, so we're gonna skip that one. This one's a number 3 in a series. This one is the Ferryman, but it's under a 4. Uh, let's see, what's this one? 4.1. Oh, okay. Chain Gang All Stars. It's not
Women gladiators.
367 pages. That's good. 8 books. Well, yeah. 2 top women gladiators fight for their freedom within a depraved private prison system not so far removed from America's own. Oh yeah.
Immediately going to read. That sounds so interesting.
Loretta Thurwar and Hamara Hurricane Stacker. Wow. Are the stars of Chain Gang All Stars, the cornerstone of Cape, a criminal action penal entertainment, a highly popular, highly controversial, profit-raising program in America's increasingly dominant private prison industry. It's the return of the gladiators, and prisoners are competing for the ultimate prize, their freedom. I mean, it's Running Man. That's Running Man by
Yeah.
Stephen King slash Bachman. Um, in
Richard
Cape, prisoners
Bachman.
travel as links in chain gangs, competing in death matches for packed arenas with righteous protesters at the gates. Thurwar and Stax, both demons and lovers, are the fan favorites. And if all goes well, Thurwar will be free in a few matches. In fact, she carries a fact she carries as heavily as her lethal hammer as she prepares to leave her fellow links. She considers how she might help preserve their humanity in defiance of these so-called games. But Cape's corporate owners will stop at nothing to protect their status quo, and the obstacles they lay in Thurwar's path have devastating consequences. All right, so I mean, it seems pretty fun, dumb.
The top review is just in quotes, "Suck my dick, America." Amazing.
Suck my dick, America. Okay, I mean, yeah, it just sounds like a little fun story.
A little fun story.
Yeah, a little fun story. I will, I will add this to the want to read. It does seem like a fun story. I want to read it.
Suck my dick, America.
Little fun story. What? But to be fair with this does not do anything like more than whatever Running Man, in the 80s provided. I feel like
I mean, I don't
or
think the running one was gay. This one's a little gay.
yeah, aside from, well, yeah, but aside from that, it's like it's kind of like a play trope of like, well, of course, like movies have done this in terms of
Yeah,
like putting prisoners against each other in a game of
yeah,
death race. Death
yeah.
Race was one. It's one of those. Yes, there is interesting stuff happening here with 2 lesbian lovers. What their names, Thurwar and Stark stacks. So, or stacks. So yeah, so interesting to check out.
We were talking about Adrian Tchaikovsky, weren't we?
Yeah, but that's part of the series, I think. The number 3 in the
Yeah.
series. So this is like the third book in that series that we're gonna start up at some point. It was on sale. Yeah, the first book in this series was on sale for like $1.99. That's why. Um, in the lives of puppets, no, thank you. The ferryman, no. I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next category. The best in horror, and I think this is the final round, guys. We got Holly from Stephen King. Any of you read Holly? No.
I haven't, but it does look interesting just based off of the cover. My
It
Darling Girl is also on my list.
it with Holly, it's based on it's not in the series per se, but it's based on the character that appears in multiple books in throughout Stephen King's thing. So this one would be kind of like my I really want to check out because I know the character, but
Yeah.
but yeah. What
Yeah, I've still never read any Stephen King.
Yeah, I mean, you really can read any one of them aside from the
I
Dark
know.
Tower
I know.
series.
I have a bunch of them. Just haven't touched them.
Under the Dome, one of my favorite Stephen King novels.
It's a very long book. What would you recommend? You know what? I would recommend that we read The Long Walk. That one is an excellent Stephen King book. It gives you like that twist of the knife kind of thing. It's like 300 and something pages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my recommendation. So which Winona, you were saying which one?
My Darling Girl is on my list. I don't think it has super high ratings. It
My
just
darling girl.
it's a psychological thriller about
Oh,
an
here it is.
alcoholic mother.
Yeah, it's a 3.8. It's whatever. Silver nitrate. That's a 3.6. How to sell a haunted house 3.7. A house with good bones 3.7. Man, okay, none of these are 3.7 for lone women. Our share of the night 4.3. Okay, let's just read what our share of night is about. It's a translated book. Huh.
Huh.
Yeah, it
Five
looks like Spanish.
588 pages. A woman's mysterious death puts her husband and son on a collision course with her demonic family. Truly demons? Demons in this book, truly?
And it's illustrated too, so it could
And
be
it's a
like
cult
Slewfoot
novel.
type
A young
situation.
father and son set out on a road trip, devastated by the death of the wife and mother they both loved. United in grief, the pair travel to her ancestral home and they must confront the terrifying legacy she has bequeathed them. A family called the Order that commits unspeakable acts in search of immortality. For Gaspar, the son, this maniacal cult is his destiny. As the Order tries to pull him into their evil, he and his father take flight, attempting to outrun a powerful clan that will do anything to ensure its own survival. But how far will Gaspar's father go to protect his child? And can anyone escape their fate? Moving back and forth in time from London in the swinging 1960s to the brutal years in Argentina's military dictatorship and its turbulent aftermath. Okay, I mean that's sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it does.
All right, let's also the tags got LGBT and queer. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's add Marina Enriquez, 26 books. And very positive, aside from like 1, 2, and it's all in Spanish, so I can't. I mean, if I put it through a translator, we'll find out what the hell that means, but whatever.
Or we might not because sometimes you Google Translate things and you still don't know what it says.
True. How about Rogue? Okay, 3.7. September House 3.9. Okay, so Vampires El Norte 3.9. Okay, out of all of these, I'm pretty sure Stephen King's gonna win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like hands down. So and that would be my vote. Oh, it's not the last category? Oh, young adult and science fiction.
Fantasy and science fiction, yeah.
Yeah, young adult fantasy and science fiction. Sorry.
So Cassandra Clare is immediately out.
I have not read A Curse for True Love, but I did read the Carval series and I loved them. So I will definitely be reading the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. but it is
Oh,
a series,
yeah,
so
it's a series, number 3, so out.
yeah. That's
Number
also a series.
2,
I would say that all of these are probably
A
series.
Study in
I
Drowning,
don't think A Study in Drowning is, but yeah, I
but
think
it is under a 4.
yeah. I
Uh,
started Divine Rivals. It's gonna be a top 5 for sure.
ooh,
It's
okay.
really good so far.
Okay, let me just see what the rest hold. This one is a 4.3, Powerless, and it's number 1 in the
Mhm.
trilogy, or whatever. Now, what's this one? The Stone Air Duology. Okay, so maybe just one more book.
Yeah.
uh, 4 for that one. Foxglove, 4, but it's a
Mhm.
number 2. Number 2, Secrets of the Nile, What the River Knows. So you got 3 books here: Divine Rivals, Powerless, and What the River Knows. How do you guys feel? Which one do you think is gonna hit it?
Uh,
I'm just gonna say Divine Rivals
I think
because
Divine Rivals. It's been a
it's
very.
got magical typewriters.
It's also been talked about a lot this year. I do think that
Mhm.
that one's gonna win.
After centuries of sleep, the gods are warring again, but 18-year-old Iris Winnow just wants to hold her family together. Her mother is suffering from addiction, and her brother is missing from the front lines. Her best bet is to win the columnist position at the Oath Gate Gazelle. Oath Gazelle. To
Is
combat
it?
her Gazette.
It's a newspaper, yeah.
Yeah. To combat her worries, Iris writes. I don't know why Gazelle got in my head. Um, Iris writes letters to her brother, slips them beneath her wardrobe door, where they vanish into the hands of Roman Kit, her cold, handsome rival at the paper. When he anonymously writes Iris back, the two of them forge a connection that will follow Iris all the way to the front lines of battle for her brother, the fate of mankind and love. Shadow and Bone meets Lore. How do you guys feel about that? Yeah,
Those are on my list to read as well.
Shadow and
I've,
Bone.
Mhm.
I think I've read Shadow and Bone.
Mhm.
Well, it's a Netflix series, so if you haven't read it, maybe you
Yeah,
saw
but
it.
they canceled it.
They canceled it. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
They cancel everything.
Yep. They cancel everything good.
It's true. They don't know what's good. That's the problem. Um, this one's a little bit longer, 523 pages versus the last one, and it's the first in the series. Um, let's see. Only the extraordinary belong in the kingdom of Alaya. The exceptional, the empowered, the elites. The power these elites have possessed for decades were graciously gifted to them by the plague, though not all were fortunate enough to survive the sickness and reap the reward. Those born ordinary are just that, ordinary. And when the king decrees that all ordinaries be banished in the order to preserve his elite society, lacking any an ability suddenly becomes a crime, making Payton Gray a felon by fate and a thief by necessity. Surviving in the slums as an ordinary is no simple task, and Payton knows better than most, having been trained by her father to overtly observant since she was a child. Payton poses as a psychic in the crowded city, blending in with the elites as best as she can in order to stay alive and out of trouble. Easier said than done. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think of this one?
The name Peyton, I listened to a podcast called Dungeons and Daddies, and one of
Dungeons and
their
Daddies?
one, yes, so it's like four normal dads are
Okay.
like trying to get their sons back. But one of their like NPCs that becomes like a part of their journey is named Peyton, and he's so silly and like does dumb things that I
So,
don't think I could read this and not think of
okay.
him.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Which is unfortunate because it's one that I would like to read, but that name might
Uh,
do it for
It's
me.
been ruined for you. All right, let's just vote for Divine Rivals then.
Yeah.
Feels like a good one. Adult fiction? How do you guys best young adult fiction?
So I've read Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. I loved it. It was a very cute read. I think I gave it like maybe 4 or 5 stars because I've read I think Talia Hibbert also wrote the like the Danny Brown series, like the Brown Sisters series.
Mm.
Um and I've read One of Us is Lying, and the second book I have not read One of Us is Back. But
Um,
I liked One of Us is Lying.
Yeah, so highly suspicious got a 3.7. How do you feel about it? 3.7.
That's fair. I mean, I think if I gave it a 4, then 3.7, I mean, it's not
Not too
that big
far
of a
off
jump. Yeah.
from the consensus.
Mhm.
Um, Out of all of them, like for me, in terms of the covers, because I have not read any of these, I would probably
Mhm.
say, uh, probably this one, Warrior Girl Unearthed.
Mhm.
I think it has the highest rating too,
Yeah,
4.2.
Yeah. Uh, let's
that's
see.
a cool name.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Perry Firekeeper Birch. I like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just bang zoom right in the kisser. Was ready for her summer of slack, but instead, after a fender bender that was not entirely her fault, she stuck working to pay back her auntie Donis for repairs to the Jeep. Thankfully, she has other outcasts of the summer program, Team Misfit Toys, and even her twin sister, Pauline. Together, they ace obstacle courses, plan vigils for missing women in the community, and make sure summer doesn't feel so. So it's like a little like summer adventure,
Mhm.
kind of thing. I kind of like that. But when she
Mhm.
attends a meeting at the local university, Perry learns about the warrior girl, an ancestor whose bones and knife are stored in the museum archives, and everything changes. Perry has to return Warrior Girl to her tribe. Determined to help, she learns all she can about Nagpra, the federal law that allows tribes to request and return ancestral remains and sacred items. The university has been using legal loopholes to yeah, fuck. It's like
As they
God.
do.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I like this one. This is a want to read.
Yeah,
This one's cool.
definitely.
Okay. Um, how about you, Winona? Any strong contenders for you?
Five Survives looks really interesting to me.
Five survive. Red Kenny is on a road trip for spring break with five friends, her best friend, the older brother, his perfect girlfriend, a secret crush, a classmate, and a killer. When their RV breaks down in the middle of nowhere with no cell service, they soon realize there is no accident. This is no accident. They have been trapped by someone. Oh, I like that. Someone who clearly wants one of them dead. With 8 hours until dawn, the six of them must escape or figure out which of them is the target. But is there a liar among them? Okay, yeah, I like this. I like this one.
Survive the Night, kind of
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, dang. I don't know. Now I'm having a.
388, not bad.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna put that on the want to read. Ooh, that's tough. All right. I'm gonna still keep my vote with Warrior Girl and Earth, but Tiffany, why don't you be the tiebreaker between those two? I guess.
Warrior Girl on Earth, just because it's something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Like I
agree.
love I love survive the night kind of things, but this is something that I haven't seen before.
Well,
Yeah.
I would also say like this one would probably be in like the thriller mystery, cozy mystery section too,
Yeah.
which is pretty sweet.
Which is just my vibe.
Debut novel. Oh, this one kind of looks cool. I kind of like the look. Ink Blood Sister Scribe. It's like a tree and it's got a pen coming down.
Mhm.
That's yeah. Are you guys
Ooh, a
familiar with this?
family library.
Hmm. Spellbinding a debut novel, two strange half sisters tasked with guarding their family's library of magical books must work together to unravel a deep secret at the heart of their collection. A tale of familial loyalty and betrayal and the pursuit of magic and power. For generations, the Kaloite family has guarded a collection of ancient and rare books that let a person walk through walls, manipulate the elements, books of magic that half sisters Jonah and Esther have been raised to revere and protect. All magic comes with a price, though. And years of the sisters have been separated. Esther has fled to the remote base in Antarctica to escape the fate that killed her own mother, and Joanne's isolated herself in their family home in Vermont, devoting her life to the study of these cherished volumes. But after their father dies suddenly while reading a book Joanna has never seen before, the sisters must reunite to preserve their family legacy. In the process, they'll uncover a world of magic far bigger and more dangerous than they could ever imagine. All the secrets of their parents kept hidden, secrets that span centuries, continents, and even other libraries. 416, that's not bad. I think this is a fun
Yeah.
looking
Mhm.
book, and I love this cover. I don't know, this cover
Mhm.
really is like speaks to me. You
What
got
we've learned so far in this podcast is that we really like covers.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of these, that's the only way to judge. But okay,
Mhm.
aside from that, we do have Wayward on here. We have the Wishing
Mhm.
Game on here. We have
Yeah,
this one, which we just learned about.
yeah,
Um, I mean, out of those three, which one do you guys feel? Me personally is Inkblood.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Done.
Magical Library.
Yeah, right. Best nonfiction. Now, to me, I'm not. I'm just out on nonfiction, but that's just me.
See, I can get behind some nonfiction when it's interesting. Like, I've read, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but she's a mortician and she writes like nonfiction about being a mortician and stuff.
Yeah,
That's really interesting to me.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's the profession, right? That kind of like
Yeah.
really, yeah, huh. I could understand that.
yeah. And I read a nonfiction about one of the. He wasn't an actual detective, but he worked in processing crime scenes, and he was one of the investigators that helped solve the Golden State Killer case this year, which was
Mm.
Mm. Mhm.
so good.
Out of all of these, just going off book cover alone,
Mhm.
I would probably have to say this one. The Georgia peach right here with its all big old booty. It just speaks to me the most, but you know, that's just because I'm a dumb guy. How about you guys? What do you guys feel?
Um,
I mean, ratings wise, they're all okay, maybe not all.
Mhm.
4.3 Poverty by America. I mean, that's just very always going to be topical, I think.
Mhm.
We're always impoverished here in America. How far the light reaches, a
Ooh,
life in
sea
10 sea
creatures.
creatures. Yeah, that's kind of cool. A queer
Mhm.
mixed race writer working in a largely white male field. Science and conservative journalist Sabrina Imbler has always been drawn to the mystery of life in the sea, and particularly to creatures living in hostile and remote environments. Each essay in their debut collection profiles one such creature. Okay, so it's just
Mhm.
going over all the different from bobbit worms to something else.
I'd read that. I love marine biology.
Yeah, 272. That's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
4.1. That's also not bad. The
Mhm.
Art Thief. How long is this one? 240. Okay, so these aren't like super
Mhm.
long books.
I also
Um,
like the cover.
yeah, with the bat and the
Mhm.
little boy that looks like he's dead because he's been killed by the bat. um. Okay. All right. How about where was it? Outlive. This was another one. This one was actually pretty like 4.42. Um, what is this about? Groundbreaking manifesto on living and well, I don't care
See,
about living longer and better and
yeah,
all that.
that's the thing with like nonfiction is it's a thin line between like
and
this is how you can be a CEO and
it's hard to vote on things like this because it's really
Mhm.
based on like how many people are just reading all these different genres of nonfiction. Usually, if you
Yeah,
like nonfiction, you like a specific kind. Like for
yeah.
me, that's true crime.
Mhm.
Or or
Mine's true crime, animals.
or like if it's like a celebrity or something like
Yeah, yeah,
something you
yeah.
can connect to.
Like,
Yeah.
I listened to, God, what is his name?
Tom Brady. I don't
No, 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 no.
know. Does
He
he even
just
have a book?
died. Yes,
Matthew Perry.
yes, yes, Matthew Perry. I listened to his audiobook.
Okay. What was it? Was it like insightful into because the guy, I mean, obviously had
Mhm.
demons. He had
Yeah.
real demons.
Yes, yeah, it does talk about his, addiction and stuff like that.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, and I listened to Jeanette McCurdy's book. I will say
Mhm.
that she narrated her own audiobook, which isn't a problem, but usually I can put an audiobook on 2 times the speed and be perfectly fine. She
Mhm.
talked so fast in just regular speed that it was almost like you couldn't even hear it properly.
Mhm.
And I ended up just switching back to like physically reading it because she had a very monotoned way of speaking throughout the audiobook,
Mhm.
which
And also, Matthew Perry read his own audiobook too.
Oh,
But he has like a nice charismatic voice,
Yeah.
so
okay. Me personally, I'm gonna go with the marine biologist because just
mhm,
like you, Tiffany, I'm into sea creatures. It was
mhm.
only like 200 pages. Um,
Yeah.
I
and
have no opinion on these. I don't care.
all right, let's go. Let's go with the
Yeah,
marine
that's the thing.
biologist.
I don't typically I don't read nonfiction, so it has to be something that's actually interesting to me for me to want to read it.
It was this one. How far the
Hmm.
light reaches. All right. Best memoir and autobiography. I'm gonna go with. I'm just gonna be Britney Spears.
Sure.
I think her story was very crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Although I definitely want to read Elliot Page's
Oh,
memoir too.
I was gonna say,
Mhm.
yes, that, but also, what was it called? The thing about Justin Timberlake that everybody
Oh,
that
yeah.
everybody cropped out of that. So it's like I didn't even read that book yet, but I already
Hmm.
know so much. I think that was like the biggest like shocker.
Yeah.
So, this one I've seen a lot. Like this one has come up on my feed a few
Mm,
times. So
it sounds
the
interesting
wager,
already.
Tale of Shipwreck. Yeah, I'm gonna vote for this one.
Mhm.
Because fuck this
It's
guy.
definitely not Elon
Fuck
Musk.
this
No,
guy.
fuck
Definitely
you.
not
You're not
Elon
Fuck
getting
this
our
Musk.
vote.
piece of shit. Sorry.
No one cares to read your book, and if they do, they're a liar.
But yeah, no, this is the one for me.
They're 12-year-old boys.
The wager.
Yeah.
Also, let me just click a want to read.
Or
I
Andrew Tate. I feel like Andrew Tate would read Elon Musk's.
Yeah. Well, Andrew Tate needs Elon Musk's money right now. He's struggling. Um, but yeah. Shipwrecks. Those are always cool.
Hmm.
Pirate ships especially. So definitely gonna give that one a check out.
Hmm.
Best in humor. This one I could. Henry Winkler. No, I'm gonna go with the skunk because it's a cute little skunky animal. It's a 3.7 though. I can't give it to that. 4.3. Being Henry Fonz. I don't know. Sure, I'll join a cult.
I was looking at that one.
Hmm.
We could join. Yeah, we could join a cult. Sure, why not? From weird, scary, ingenious. Oh, it's a comedian.
It's in humor, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Let's just go tough titties. No, no, no.
Yeah, I think Cody Rigsby is like a Peloton instructor.
But it's in humor.
What?
I guess, yeah.
The beloved Peloton instructor chronicles his journey from small town North Carolina to New York City stardom in an empowering story that reveals his secret to not taking yourself or life too seriously. Eh,
Not my cup of tea.
yeah,
Yeah.
not really into it. I'm gonna go with. Oh man, I don't know. What do you guys think?
A
I don't
strong
know.
female character is about an autistic comedian.
Which one?
I mean,
Strong female
Oh,
character.
this one.
Yeah.
that
Like,
sounds interesting.
ooh, wow, 4.5. This book about how being a woman gets in the way of people's expectations of autism should look like, and equally how being autistic gets in the way of people's expectations of what woman should look like.
I'll definitely read it.
Yeah, all right, sure. All right, let's go. Want to read 4.5. It's only 288 pages.
Hmm.
All right, this is my vote. Boop. Boopies. And I think we have reached the end.
Yeah, that's
Can
it.
Yep.
Can you guys believe it? I feel like we picked up a lot of good books over the course of the episode.
Hmm.
Figured that some of those I probably would not have found because
Yeah.
generally without this kind of best of the year voting process or
Hmm.
whatever to kind of give you a nice curated list, there's just way too many books.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just way too many. Um,
But it is nice also seeing genres that like I don't like I never read humor, but now
No.
I have one that I will read.
Yeah, exactly. And overall, like I really think that even that nonfiction book about the sea creatures, I mean, I might
Mhm.
check that out because of this. So
Yeah.
how about you, Winona? Did you glean any new?
Uh, I think the one. Which one am I most excited to read? I mean, Bright Young Women is probably high on that list.
Yeah.
Wayward and the Encyclopedia of Fairies. That sounds fun.
Mhm.
Oh, and the Five Survive. I feel like that would be like just a
Five
fun.
survive,
I feel like
yeah.
that would just be a fun, like kind of creepy. It's also young adult, I think. Yeah, it's young
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
adult.
young
It's
adult.
not going
Yep.
to be too. It's not going to be too much.
Mhm. Young adult is a fine line too, though, because then you have to deal with like some authors are very cringy and they're like, here's all the lingo. I'm hip, see? It's like,
Oh, and Bookshops and Bone Dust. I really do want to read that series.
mhm,
It
Yeah,
looks
bookshop.
so. It looks so comfy.
mhm,
You know, I never looked at this one. Oh, but it's a number two. I'm
mhm.
not gonna get into
Yeah,
it.
I have the first one, but I haven't read it.
I've read one book by Lee Bardugo, Six of Crows. I hated it. It was such a highly
Mm.
rated book. But I'm just not like I'm not a heist person. Don't send me on a heist. I'm not interested.
You know, I thought I was gonna get more out of the science fiction section, but I really feel like I walked away with nothing when it came to this one.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, we
aside from the starter villain, this one looked really fun.
I mean, but we're interested in Adrian Tchaikovsky. It's just the third book in the series, so obviously we can't.
Oh yeah, and the
Mhm,
Chain Gang All Stars, but again, that one's like a throwaway, honestly, to me, because it's just like the premise I've kind of already been through before, so
Yeah.
I don't know if they're
mhm.
really gonna blow my mind with this one. It just seems like a funny one, you know?
I do love that we said we wouldn't vote for ones in a series, like at the end of a series, and Lightbringer gets number.
Okay, but to be fair, like with the choices that were there,
Yeah.
it was the only one that any of us could really give input on that we already knew about the series, you
Mhm.
Yeah.
know? And it felt the most yeah, it just felt right. And I feel like it's gonna win.
Yeah. And honestly, I would have read it if we didn't choose it. And I haven't even read it yet.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, all the dangerous things, that was another one, and the bright young
Mhm.
women.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of interesting possible reads for 2024.
Mhm.
Yeah, a ton. And I feel like some of these are definitely stuff we could, read together and kind of like talk about. So I am down to do that.
How many
Uh,
books have you read this year, Tiffany?
Um, I think I'm at 101, maybe.
God damn.
Yeah, look, this past week when I was house sitting, I killed like 3 audiobooks.
oh, did you finish Priory then? What the hell?
This was while I was working.
Okay.
I can't listen to Priory.
Okay. All
It's
mean,
right.
just too
could
intense.
you imagine listening
I'm
to Priory and
look,
like
look,
every pause is
I
like
am
what is
at
the name?
I'm at 466.
I don't
So
want to talk about where I'm at.
200.
Having been
I
busy
will
with it,
definitely finish it this week.
Okay. All right.
I will try my best. I can't make any promises. I am packing. I don't know boxes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, um,
That's fair. That's fair. You both have stuff you need to get to.
Yes.
yeah.
You know.
I'm at 101 books so far, and my reading goal is 125.
Do you think you'll finish?
Probably not. Unless I can just read a bunch more audiobooks, probably not. But that's okay.
What about you, Dave? Where are you at? Do you have a reading?
I don't. Well, see, the thing is, I don't update my Goodreads like enough to really, you know,
That's my little treat. As soon as it's finished,
Well,
it's
it's
going
so
on the list.
fun.
it's in the
Hmm.
catalog. Yeah, but sometimes it's just not. I just don't open it often enough. Like with the Kindle, yeah, but sometimes I use Google Books because
Yeah.
I have
Hmm.
those rewards from
Hmm.
the rewards app that Google has. So I have so much money that sometimes I just buy the book if it's on sale on Google Books rather than getting it on
Hmm.
Kindle. So yeah, it's just like sometimes I just forget, but I don't know. Like if I'm just gonna count what we've read. I mean, what that's like 10 books by now, right? So you know, yeah, let's just say 10. I did 10.
I think we've read like 4.
Okay. Well, no, but well, what I was thinking is I also read a couple of books at the same time as the ones I was reading with you guys. So okay,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like so yeah, about 10 from there. But yeah, you guys are in a league of your own for this year. That
Yeah.
you both started with like freakish challenges from the beginning of the year.
Hmm.
Mine isn't crazy. Mine is 50. Um, but I have done like 60. I did 65 last year.
Okay.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, and nobody's touching Tiffany. Like,
no.
This is more recent though. Like some years it was very low. Like,
I've had years of like 12.
hmm,
yeah, I don't think mine have been that low, but I also reading is my hobby.
mm-hmm.
Like that's all I do is read.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, reading is my hobby too, but I got kind of lost in the sauce for a while.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
like the reason why mine is so high this year is because last year I did 124. So I was like 125, that's only one more. But
well, I mean, you're not wrong.
I've also been like branching into other hobbies. So
Yeah.
I've been
kind
playing a
of.
video game recently that has been a very nice like disconnect from
Hmm.
being busy all the time.
What game?
It's Wildflowers. It's so fucking cute. I love it so much.
Is
A
it a
a witch game,
hmm,
like
Nice.
a farming sim.
yeah.
Ooh, I like those.
Yeah, it's fun.
Maybe we should do a little is it a multiplayer?
Mm-mm.
Oh. I was gonna say maybe we could do a three-way co-op or something.
I think we could for Stardew.
Oh, Stardew, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Can we Stardew multiplayer?
it has a co-op.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we could do it. I have Stardew. You
Hmm.
guys have Stardew?
Hmm.
I have it on
My
the.
husband's put in so many hours in Stardew recently.
I don't like one bit. Um, it's just not my. I don't like that style of gaming. I don't know
Hmm.
why, but I do enjoy Stardew, but I don't get lost in it like I do with like Wildflowers or Sims.
I mean,
Yeah.
it could be one of those things where with people it's more enjoyable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe.
So, thanks for listening, everyone. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us if you've read any of the books on the list that we just went
Hmm.
through. It's a long list, but yeah, put it in the comments. And
Argue
then,
with our choices down below. We're
yeah,
down.
thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. Yeah. So, be sure to join us next time on another episode of Cage by the Page. Bye.
Bye.
I